This is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and today we're going to be doing a Modpodge project. I was at my mom's house and she had this container right here, and I've done one other container like this, so I'm super excited to do a Modpodge project with this. I'm going to be using some Dollar Tree napkins. I fell in love with this napkin and it has a message: do what you love what you do. So this was the inspiration behind this project. So let's get started. I'm also going to be adding some flowers in, so let me show you what those look like. I thought this would be a pretty combination. I may just take some of them and kind of add them in to enhance the napkin once it's on our container. I'm going to add a butterfly. I don't think I'm going to do both of them. I think one butterfly will be enough, but there's one that kind of looks a little bit like this soft, like a soft green. I don't even know how to describe that. And there's one that's like a really blush pink. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm going to add a little bit of bling, just a little bit to enhance the container and to bring out some of the blue that's in the napkin. So lots of nice colors to work with. I think this is going to be a really nice project. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is paint my container, and you've seen me do that before. I'm just using some white acrylic paint, nothing fancy, and I'm going to put 2 coats of paint on this. And so I usually just put 1 coat on, let it dry, and then I go ahead and put another coat on and let that dry before I start to do my Mod Podge. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like when it's all dry. Okay, so we've got our 2 coats of paint on our container and it's all dry. So now let me take a look at this napkin. And so 1 napkin should actually do it. Let's see. Oh, well, maybe not. Well, I think it might work. Yeah, let's see. Sometimes it's not until you pull it apart that you see whether it will work or not. And so I want to make sure that I can get almost everything on there. I definitely want the message on there. I definitely want part of this on here also. Let's see if I pull it up a little bit, or maybe have that close to the bottom. Let's see, just have to decide. Maybe just center it. So it looks like I could actually cut it right along the crease there, and it'll be fine. And then maybe take a little bit off of the top or the bottom. That's just one of the decisions you have to make, and wherever you're comfortable having your artwork, it's just up to you. I would like to have some of this here and some of this right here. So let's see. That looks like it'll work. Just like that. This will look nice in a card too. Maybe a napkin card or something. This is really pretty. Do what you love what you do. And I have to tell you, I absolutely love these ideas, and I love sharing them with you. So how cool is that, to do what you love? And so I can tell you right now that teaching and creating and sharing ideas is such a blessing. I wake up every day just wondering, or just thinking, how blessed I am to be able to share with you. So you all motivate me through your comments, through your messages. Y'all really motivate me. And I know I've told you that before, but it's worth saying it over and over again. Okay, so I'm just going to bend this back a little bit just to see how much of this I want on here. Just bending it back a little bit just to see. You just never know until you kind of take a good look at it. See, I want more of that. I think what I'm I'm dealing with right now is I want more of that artwork on there, but I do want that message on there too. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna go for it just like that. Pull that up a little bit. See if I take off some of that, I'll have more here, which will be pretty too. Let's see. I know I could have just decided this ahead of time, but I kind of like y'all to see the process. You know, just kind of see the whole thought process. What am I thinking? And I'm trying not to think about it too much because I think that kind of takes away from that whole creative energy. Okay, so I'm going to have that on there. I'll have that right there. I think this will do. Just like that. I'll leave that little space open right there. So then I could cut all of them right down to the size that I need it to be. I think I'm cutting on the right line there. And you see all of these pieces? All of these, save them for something else. Save them. And so I haven't, this is a 2-ply napkin, and I have not peeled the, I haven't separated it yet. So let's see, sometimes it's easy to separate, or sometimes you'll need to take some water and just put it on the corner and separate it, but this one is pretty easy. So I like to separate it after I finish cutting it. So I need to go back and cut those other ones before I separate them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the others out, and then we'll be ready to apply it on our container. Okay, so now we're all ready to Mod Podge, and I have my back and front pieces cut out, and then these are just 2 of the side pieces I measured and cut out, and these aren't like perfect, meaning that I didn't have to have all of the lettering in there, so it's still good to go, just like that. So it's basically this front and back pieces that I'm really more concerned about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the sides this time. I usually start with the back and the front, but I'll start with the sides. And don't forget to have this with you. This is the saran wrap that's going to help you smooth out your napkin onto your container. So I'm using Modpodge now. That's not white paint, that's Modpodge. And here is what I am using. That's what it looks like. Okay, so just going to start smoothing on my Mod Podge here, and you want to make sure you cover everything on here. Okay, and then this should be easy to line up because I'm just doing it individually rather than having a huge piece. So these are smaller areas to work with. And so once I line it up exactly where I want, I can smooth it out. Okay, and I'm just gonna, now you see it has little bubbles over it. It's actually a little bit crooked too. I won't worry about that. Okay, so you see where it has like little bubbles under it? You're just using your saran wrap and just smoothing it out. That way you'll have less wrinkles. And I'm just doing it gently, not trying to pull on it too much. Okay, and I just want to make sure that this stays down too, right around the edges there. And I'm just pulling it over the edge, smoothing it over the edge there. And then I like to give it a little time to dry before I put on another coat of Mod Podge. So I'm just going to work around to the other side. And I'm holding the container like this because I don't want to grab it where my artwork is. If I grab it over here, then my fingers will stick to it and it'll come right off. So I'm just kind of holding it right in the middle here with my hands, just leaning it. And you want to give your Mod Podge, I usually try to give it 24 to 48 hours to dry, just because, but you can handle it. I can handle it after about an hour, but to really, really have it dry, you want to give it that overnight. Yep, and I'm just gently smoothing out. Because just remember the napkins are delicate, so there's no rush. I'm just adding a little bit of Mod Podge going up this way just because I didn't have enough on there. Then I'm just smoothing it right down. I found it easier to kind of just smooth it over the edges. I love the colors on there. This is going to be a nice one. But then again, I like all of the ones I do, so. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and work on the front area here. I love doing these containers, and I'm not sure where my mom got this container from, but if you go thrifting and you enjoy thrifting like I do, look for those glass containers because they hardly cost anything and you can really turn them into works of art. Okay, going to apply my napkin. And I just want to make sure I have enough around the edge there so it will lay down. Now I'm going to take, this saran wrap has been a artistic lifesaver and definitely becoming one of my favorite tools to use during crafting. So you see how it just smooths out all of those bubbles. And that white paint really makes your artwork pop on these napkins. This will make great gifts too, especially the ones with the words on it. It's almost like giving a card, but you're just giving a decorated vase with a message. Okay, and that is on. And so you kind of get the gist of it, what I'm doing here. Like this part here has some wrinkles, so I'm just going to smooth that out just a little bit. And like I always say, the wrinkles give it character, so I wouldn't stress over having that it didn't come out smooth enough. I think it looks great. It looks very artsy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the other side and then add another coat of Mod Podge over to give it a nice shine, a nice finish, and then we'll be ready to add some bling. Okay, so my container looks lovely and it's still drying, but it's dry enough to handle. So like I said, you need to give it at least 24 hours. 48 hours is even better. And so that's what it looks like. Got the sides all done. This is probably going to be my back part, and this will be the front. And it's got a few wrinkles. It's got a nice little shine to it. I love it, love it, love it. And I'm going to add a little bit of bling to it. So I'm going to use some of the blue bling wrap, and I'm going to take this little groove right here. I'm going to put some bling in there. And I'm going to show you another project that I did. I'll show you that one toward the end. I just love the way it came out. And so I will definitely show you what that looks like. So let me just go ahead and measure this out. I think that blue bling is going to enhance this. Say right about there. Oops, still sticking a little bit. Started cutting somewhere around here. Right here. I'm just going to cut the individual ones. Just one strip. Okay, this way. Okay, I'm just going to take this and put it in that groove, and you see how that looks so pretty? It just gives just a little bit more. Okay, let's see if my glue gun is heated up enough here. I'm just going just with a little bit. I don't want to put too much in there. These do really well with hot glue. And if you want, here's another thing you can do. If you have some leftover Mod Podge, you could always do this. Just put a little bit in there and then just let it kind of glue on. Use that as your glue, basically. But just because it's video purposes, I'm going to use my glue gun because it's much faster. And look how that looks so far. I'm going to put another strip down by the bottom. It won't take away too much from my artwork. And this is the Dollar Tree Bling Wrap. Now that I think about it, everything is from Dollar Tree except for the container and the Mod Podge. I'm going to put another thing right around the bottom there. See how pretty that looks? It really looks fun too. And I was thinking about it. This would make a great teacher's gift, you know, like at the end of the year, or maybe even at the beginning of the year, maybe something for her to, something pretty for your teacher to put on their desk. If you have a male teacher, just make it a little bit more masculine. I think this would be awesome. Just kind of starting at the corners there. Oh, put a little bit more here. Okay, and that is perfect. Just be careful with the glue gun when you're doing this. Okay, so this is what we have so far. Trying to get that glue off my fingers. This is what we have so far. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in some of the foam. This is Dollar Tree foam. I'm just pressing it in there. And if you want, you can just glue it right in. See what that's like? Or you can cut it down if you need to cut a little bit off the top, you can. And what I'm going to do is, you know what? Let's see. I want this to be more permanent. So I am going to glue this right down into there. Put a little bit in there. And this will stick over the top just a little bit. And if you want to cut some of it off, you can. Okay, so now it's time to put in, let's see, usually I try to put in some of the moss also from Dollar Tree. If you want to just kind of put some to kind of cover some of the stuff up, you can, if you need to. I'm just going to stick some in the sides there. And you don't have to do this, but it's a good way to fill up some space in there. And of course, this stuff is really messy, so of course, just want to be careful with that. Just get a little bit more. As messy as this stuff is, it's okay. It's okay. That way I can fill in some space on there too. Okay, and so I'm going to just clean this up just a little bit before we move on to putting the flowers in. Okay, and so now for the fun part. I've got these leaves, and they actually used to have flowers on them, but I've used the flowers for different projects. So I kept the leaves with the stems on it, and then some of them had like the empty stems. I just took more leaves and just took them from another flower and just kept pushing them on. So you can always save those leaves, especially if you're just using the flowers and then you have a lot of the stems left. Just put some leaves on there. And so I'm going to use this because I like the way these look. And I think this came from like a Christmas thing that I had. And see how it has this little stem just kind of sticking out like that? And you want to secure your leaf on there, you can just kind of bend it over, which is what I'm going to do. And that'll kind of give it, it'll allow it to stay on. It won't come off, which is good. So you can always revamp the flowers and make another flower, especially if you have stuff left over. Okay, and I'm just cutting these up. And I thought the green would be nice in here because this is like almost like a mint green. So I thought that green would be nice also to add to this and use as a filler. And then we could add our flowers in also. And our butterflies. I almost forgot about the butterflies too. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, let's see. If I pull this one off, I can just stick it on with this one and double up on it. Yep. And then I'm just going to bend it over so it stays on there. And then you have something to put into your container. So it's like, don't throw away anything because you can always use it for something else. And see how you have a nice greenery there? Okay, let's see what else we want to do now. I want these to be kind of spread out. Throw some pink in there. So we want this to look nice and full. And this way, if I do it like this, it's easier for me to see where my colors are and how I can spread them out. Just kind of take a turn there and see what it looks like. So pretty. And then these pink ones, I don't remember even buying these, but I thought they would look nice too. Push this down in the middle here. What a nice gift this would be for someone. I know I would like to get something like this. And these are like just a nice, really light green. I think this will be pretty in here. Push it down in there. And just have fun. You could always pull them up and rearrange them again. Maybe another green around the other side there. See what that looks like. And look how full this is looking. It's really coming together. Cut this down just a little bit more. One in there. Okay, so let's take a look at that. And I may add more in. I still have more flowers. I might add more in. I don't know. We will see. Okay, and so this is what we have so far. Look at that, how pretty that is. And there's the green in there too. I think I'm going to put one more green in there. I'm going to turn this around just a little bit. Maybe put one more green somewhere in there. Yep. I'm going to do it. And I'm hoping this is giving you some inspiration to create something beautiful. And this is my 2-pack of butterflies. So once I take them out, I can really look and see what the colors look like. And I thought this would look pretty with a butterfly on it. So you've got the pink one. It's a very blush pink, so it's almost like whatever color you put it up against, it kind of turns into that color. That's what it looks like. I could either stick it in the side here, because this has like a little pick right there. Or I can hot glue it in somewhere. I've done that before. So you just have to decide what you want to do. I don't want to stick it on the container. I really feel like it needs to be just like up and about, like floating or something. Oh, that might work. So here's the other one. And now that I'm pulling it off, when I had it up against this, it looked like it had a little bit of a greenish tinge to it. But now, I don't know, you can't really see it as much. Let's see. So now I've taken this off before and then just hot glued it directly to my flower. So that's just something else you can do. So I think I'm going to just take that pick off and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to have this right up against here, like it landed in the flowers. And I think I may go ahead and I'll put the other butterfly in there too. I don't mind doing that. So you can leave that on there. You can just pull it right off and just hot glue it directly. Let's see if I make sure that I know which part is my front. That's the front part. And I'm going to just put this, I'm going to stick it right on this stem right here. Just kind of two butterflies side by side. And so this is what we have. Just a nice bouquet of butterflies and flowers and a really pretty container with a beautiful message. Do what you love and love what you do. So I hope that's a message to many of you. Let me show you what the other one looks like that I had done a couple of weeks ago. And there is a tutorial for this. This is the other one I had done, which is the Life is a Journey one. And this is a Dollar Tree napkin too. I will post this tutorial below if you hadn't seen it yet. I think I did it maybe a month or 2 months ago. I can't remember, but just look how pretty that is. These make great gifts. It's a nice way to brighten up your house. This would be nice to just put somewhere, maybe in your bathroom, on a shelf, something to remind you, just a message to remind you about something, just to live and love what you do. So I hope this inspired you. Please subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment, because your comments really and truly inspire me, and I appreciate them. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.